Hello everybody, hope you've had an amazing weekend so far. It is your boy Trix, and today we're going to be doing some more the toy robot in Elixir. I did not mean to click the transition button, but that's what happened. Anyway, yeah, it's fine. I'll just enable that later. So I finally fixed chat, so now you can hopefully be able to read chat. I have not checked, but I can see it at least, that it is there and it looks somewhat legible. So, good to know. I also now have chat working in front of me, but it is in light mode instead of dark mode, which is slowly killing me. But we move. Also, I have switched browser because I wanted to start using some more privacy-centric applications. So, for example, on my phone, I'm using Aves library for my gallery. What else have I switched? I switched from NewPipe to LibreTube just because it's a Material U themed version of NewPipe without any of the Framer tube and stuff and PeerTube and stuff. It's just because even though I do sync my content to PeerTube, I don't particularly watch anybody on PeerTube. If there are any channels that someone recommends, please do. But for my PeerTube content consumption, haven't really got any. I can do that through Fedilab, which is my Mastodon client, which is fine for me. For my browser, I'm now using Mull. For my notes, I'm using NotesNook. And for Google Translate, I'm using TranslateU. And on desktop, all I've switched is my browser from Brave to LibreWolf, just because I didn't really like all of the stuff that came with Brave, like the ad block and everything was great, but it's just all of the crypto stuff that I was like, eh. Even though I do own some, I do not particularly enjoy it being force fed down my throat. So we have moved. I still am trying to figure out a way to fix the workspaces on both monitors, but right now all we've got so far is on monitor 1, which I'm going to refer to as my left one. Monitor 2 is my right one. Monitor 1 has just got OBS. Monitor 2 has got everything else. So until I can figure that out, it's probably like a polybar setting or something. But we move. If I do not figure it out, well, when I get to learning Zig, we're going to move to, what's it called? I think it's Worm WM. I think it's Worm or it's River. That's Juicebox, that's a WM, UWM. There's River. Qtile's written in Python. There is no way that this has got like a ton of likes. I could just search Window Manager on GitHub and find something, couldn't I? Let me just search Window Manager. There we are. Let's do by stars. Then for, I think there's a language filter somewhere. Yeah, so if you choose Rust, you get one for Windows. Then there's LeftWM, which is the one that I'm currently using. if we go back one, I could select Elixir. I think Elixir is also here. Yeah, Elixir. But there's basically nothing. The one that I want to find right now is one written in Zig. I know there's one that's pretty popular, I just forgot the name of it. I think it's real. That's Juicebox. That's UWM. This is a WM. What's River written in? River WM. It's a Wayland compositor. Written in... Yeah, it's written in Zig. Why didn't this pop up? It's got 126... because it says Wayland compositor. If I search compositor instead of window manager, it probably would have come up, wouldn't it? So, if I do... compositor? Let's have a look at compositors. Most stars. If we do a Rust compositor, there's Graphite, Smithy for Rusty Wayland compositors. I don't think this is very mature yet, but I see lots of forks and lots of stars, which is decent. They don't have a wiki, so I wouldn't say that this is pretty good for Rust. That's fine. Then if we do Elixir, because I've been doing Elixir for a minute, I just want to know that I haven't missed anything. Yeah, there's nothing. And then in Rust, in Zig, we've got River. And that's 2.4k. Whereas Juicebox has got 49, so not that many. So yeah, when we get to Zig, well, learning Zig, we'll be using River. It's very weird that written in Zig. That it doesn't come up when you just search window managers written in said language. Zig and X11. What about Wayland? Would be nice if I could spell one that. Wayland compositors in Zig, and River's the first one that comes up. So I have that to look forward to. Still somewhat unhappy that I haven't found one for Elixir, but it's fine, we're getting there anyway. Let's open up the book and start going. Okay, so right now I think it's running. So if I do a cd into toy, hoping Zoxide remembers that. Here it does. Next. There we go. So that is 28 tests. Yep, that looks fine. So handling invalid commands is the one that we're going to move on to. So we need to go into command runner. There we go. G. I was also looking into alternative PKM tools because at work I use Obsidian and on my phone I use NoteSnook just because NoteSnook is privacy centric, whereas I like using Obsidian for its universal search where it does like fuzzy finding for you to figure out what you want to look at. And I was looking at different ones like VMware and stuff, but I don't know if it will work how I want it to, because when I normally take notes and stuff, like at work, I tend to insert like images or pictures where I know you can use Mermaid.js if you port your notes using VimWiki syntax, but if you use normal Markdown, it doesn't seem to work properly. So I was very hesitant to try using it. And I also know that for images and stuff, you're gonna have to store them somewhere, whereas with Obsidian it handles putting them in a location for you, where I think as for VimWiki you're gonna have to chuck the image into the same directory or directory of your choosing and then use Markdown to symlink it, not symlink it, but to display it how you want it to be displayed. And I'm not sure if I want to go down that route just to make notes. So I'm very much thinking of just staying with Obsidian, and when I want to make notes like more private, I'll just use my phone or use NoteSnook because there's a Linux client for it. The only thing I do want to change is I haven't been really focusing on writing blog posts just because I've been doing YouTube videos, but I feel like I should go back into writing blog posts, like maybe not even about what I'm doing. I was thinking of maybe writing one for my opinions on Rust, building out the PNG.me project, my opinions on Elixir, and then when I finish this, my opinions on this project, and like porting over some of my work-related blog posts that might not get published to it. But we'll see how that goes first. I'm hoping that my blog posts for work do get published. If not, then I'll just like what's it like? I'll I'll filter them out, like all of the stuff that I can't share with people, and just keep the stuff that is like applicable to everything basically. Exterminate. Yeah, so cool. This is purely because I just wanted to do that, not because you actually have to do it. That was moved purely for that reason, not for anything else. So the thing that it says to do is, I'm just going to add a break there. Then it says above move, just do def run with a invalid and then a command out. Then you've got an invalid command to rest. Then a simulation to run rest simulation. There we go. Should work. There we are. So yeah, for like long form blogging, I'm probably going to move to bearblog.dev, sorry. And for short form blogging, which is just if I don't think I have enough content to make a video or make a full length blog post, I will probably just send something on Mastodon. I'm not really a Twitter person, but for hot takes or something, maybe I would do it on Mastodon. I would say that, but I don't really have any hot takes. So now it's saying let's make a robot.exs file. I think that goes in test then. Where does that go? This says, let's create a new file and put this code in an exs. Robot.exs. And in here, all it does is place 1, 2, north, move, left, move, right, move, report. And then all it does is next run robot.exs. Okay, the way I think it does it is instead of putting it here, DD? No. No, let's try. What's the command to move? Oh, copy whole file, and then what's the... Nope, that's not what I wanted. Let's try that. Might need to move up one again. Yep, okay. Let's try that. Okay. So, goes into here, BG, dollar, yank, G, print, then yes. There we go. Let's try running that. Robot is at 04, is facing north. Yes, that feels very good. So this is, we're on the final chapter now, and we're at page 112 of 224, and this is building the CLI. I feel very happy right now. Okay. So the author makes very good points here. The way that we've implemented it right now is fine, but it's a very naive solution because there's no guarantee that that command's txt file will be the same on everybody else's machine. Like, they could call it something different, and we shouldn't expect a user of this to go into that file that we made, the robot.exs, with that hard coded line and change it there. It might not even exist. Like, they might not even have a file to run from, and they might not know what the commands are. So it's a lot better if you build some type of CLI tool which tells a user, hey, do this, do that, or this is the commands that it supports, and actually builds a file for you, is what I'm assuming we're going to do. And this says we'll build a CLI tool for our toy robot. We'll make it handle different file paths for the file containing the commands. We'll make it gracefully handle errors. Nice. Oh, cool. So Erlang, so Elixir supports eScript, which is Erlang script. So if any machine has Erlang installed, it can run this. So if I run Erlang -b, oh, do I need to install Erlang? I really hope I don't. So you go into mix EXS, Underneath depths, you add eScript. There we go. Also need to add a private method within toy.mix project module within this file. Okay, so if I go into here, go down up 2, and then it is def p e script. Okay, hang on. So I'm guessing we can do def p e script. Remove this. And then we've got a main module as toy robot.cli. Would help if I wrote this in there we go. This new configuration tells Elixir that we need to build an executable. Make sure you use a module called toy robot.cli as the foundation for the executable. So that basically says, because the author made a joke that the module that we made is in our imagination because we haven't actually made it yet. So let's make it. So you just make a CLI.ex. Then in here you do def mode of toy robot.cli. There we go. And that's that. This module looks a bit empty and it's not very clear right now. Cool, so all this does is we need to run mix e script or build. Ooh, interesting. Why is that? Is undefined or private? Interesting. Very interesting. Toy robot. Robot command. There we go. So, our robot helper one needs a function called main and takes an argument, which is a list. Cool. So for now, the author is saying that we're going to only support taking in one argument for now. I'm assuming we could maybe add in a what's it called? We could maybe add in support for like a help prompt or something, kind of like what every bash script does if you ever do like -h or -h or something. Def main file name file dot I'm going to be a bit lazy here and just $yank print backup 0 v and then shift to over. Oh, whoops, shift over. Nope. Okay, yep. Shift this way. There we go. V again. Shift this way. There we go. Then we go forward a couple letters. We go to the end of this line. We change this to file name. And that's it. A lot longer to do that than it was to just type it out, probably. But getting used to the Vim motions and stuff makes it better, obviously, for me. And the commands for the toy robot coming from any particular file. This code will take the file that we've specified and process it using a true status. There we go. So running this should now work. So I think I just need to do this again. There we are. Then I need to do this. Yeah. Okay, so now the author's saying, let's see what happens when we do different things. So if we supply only one, if we supply nothing, then we get that nothing was supplied. If we supply 2, we see we supplied 2 things. And it panicked at both. And if we supply just 1, but that file does not exist, we get no such file exists. So this is saying, let's write some tests so that when someone specifies no arguments, we just tell them, hey, you haven't specified anything, you need to do something. So I need a CLI test for EXS. Oh, every time. Def no. Then Cool, so now I just need to run this and check that the error is the same. Would have been better if I just ran mix test on that instead of trying to correct. Oh no. Oh no. Let's see it fail. Come on. There we go. Cool. So all we do is in here. Def main. Do. And then inside we do io.puts bracket. Oh wait, it doesn't need a bracket, does it? Yep. Usage. Toy robot. Let's see. There we go. There we are. This is a lot nicer than writing something in Bash. I know you can do something like this in Elixir. I haven't done the... I've done something similar. I didn't write it myself. Like the PNG me bit in Rust. You can... Your last bit is to write the actual tools that you'll use for like encoding, decoding an image and the message in it. Which is okay. You use... I've forgotten what the package is. It's not Clang. No, it's not Clang. It's some... Oh. Give me a sec. Clippy. It's not Clippy, it's Clap. Because if you go into here... Yeah, it's Clap. It's not a bad way to do it, like all things considered. It's just not... What's the right word? Rust holds your hand a lot, which makes it very hard to write bad code, but unless you know what you're doing and you understand completely how you want to structure something, it's very difficult to get up and running and just go with it, right? With Elixir so far, I've had the opposite happen, where it's not hard to get started. It's just, and it's not that handholdy at all. It's just some of the stuff and syntax is just very weird. It's just like in here, in Rust. If you look at this for the first time, you're probably not going to know how any of this works, right? But you can kind of piece it together. Like, you know, you got a command which is going to come from an argument from the CLI. You're passing the CLI argument, then you're chucking it through to a commands function. So you go to your commands, then here are your functions, and you're just doing something on them, right? Then your args, which are up here, are just saying what's predefined on that structure. So you have your print args, which is a file path. You have your remove args, which is a file path and chunk type. This makes sense. Whereas with Elixir, if I go to it and you take a look at it inside CLI, you know you have a file name. Don't know where it's coming from. You know you're taking that stream as a file, that file as a stream. Then you're mapping something in that file to trim it as string input. Then you're passing it through to your interpreter and then to your command runner. And then if you get something that doesn't fit this, instead of just handling in the same function, you have a different function definition to like a function overload. Like, I think it's not a function overload, it's a function override, or they can be used interchangeably. But you have a function override for the same function that takes no arguments, just an empty argument set to do the exact same thing. where you could have just specified that in the first function. I don't know if that's just an Elixir thing, or if that's just the way that this project does it, but that is very weird, where the syntax is just kind of funny. Like, I would expect there to be something like in Rust where you can do the pattern matching to check if that variable is set or not, that you can just output this instead. But I'm guessing you could just use a case statement, right? You could just use a case statement on that file name to, if you get a empty file name, you output an IO puts or toy robot commands text. If it's a good file name, then you just keep going. But then how do you specify multiple parameters in that same method, and then make sure that you don't get that it still runs with that method and doesn't output an error that these other parameters aren't provided? That's very Cool. So now we have another one for if too many arguments are specified, and it literally does the same thing. Okay, that's fantastic, isn't it? So literally, like, when I say it does the same thing, it's literally, I can copy paste this whole thing, yank, print, it's literally, if too many arguments are specified. In here, you've got commands.txt, then you've got commands.txt, commands2.txt, then it just changes it. So I'm assuming in here, I'm not going to assume, I'm just going to wonder, yes, okay, yeah, it was exactly what I think it was going to do. So dumb. I'm literally gonna show you what it does. So in here you got a list, right? Then you got _arg1, _arg2, and that's it. That's it. Oh my god. Why? Why is that a thing? Why? Oh jeez. That shouldn't be a thing. That's so stupid. I feel like that's just like the thing the author did in case. Yeah, so if you want to handle any amount of arguments, and it's just, oh, they supply any arguments that just don't exist, you can just do... Is this? Yeah, so the last one literally does, regardless of anything in here. Oh, wrote that wrong. Just that the brackets were unnecessary. It wasn't going to get any better. It was just going to get even more confusing. Why? Why is this a thing? Oh god, that's amazing. Every time I do one of these, it's like, oh, I find something very cool, and in Rust, I don't even think I complain that much. I was like, yeah, this is pretty sick. That's interesting, like the way you do it. And I did struggle with like a ton of stuff in there, but I at least learned a lot. In this, I have no idea what's happening next. It's like, oh yeah, I try this. Oh, it ends up like this. Still have no idea why this is a how this underscore just for all of them just apparent to, oh yes, you might have a valid path and an invalid path, or invalid paths or whatever, but you're just going to ignore everything if it's just anything you don't care about. I'm guessing this is the way that you can do the pattern matching, but on a main method instead of just inside of a case statement in a function. It's just insane. So the next one is going to be handling a missing file, and I'm going to yeah. Cool. So the next one is handling a missing file. I'm just going to push all of this up and call it a day here. But Amazing stuff. Elixir never surprises. Elixir always surprises me. Sorry. Interesting. There we go. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, enjoy the rest of your week. Peace.